here we are. This is Sex Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat, bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more. Feeling comfortable with your partner can help you to feel emotionally safe and secure about choosing to be in an intimate relationship with them. Comfort can occur on the level of our body acceptance and our perception of our body's attractiveness, either for ourselves or for the other person. Now, if we don't feel that we are attractive, if we don't like our body, we might find ourselves trying to put ourselves in positions to make ourselves look more attractive, but we might not be able to relax into that state. We might not realize how much clenching we're holding in our body just to maintain this state and avoid risking the loss of the other person or the disgust of the other person or the rejection of the other person. Comfort can also exist in the level of feeling clear and secure in where our relationship is at. So both in status, answering the question, what are we? As well as the question, how are we doing together? So if the relationship is rocky and it's going through hard times, or someone in the relationship is not sure whether they have mutual desire to be in this relationship, then that can contribute to the feeling of unsafe. And that needs to be addressed. So if you're not feeling the desire and you want to, sometimes if those things aren't resolved first, you're not going to be able to get to that open, safe, available feeling until it is. To be safe, there is emotional curiosity and responsiveness. Will my partner be present and ask me clarifying questions, active listening, showing interest in my experience? Will my emotional needs be tended to? Will my feelings be regarded? Will my partner be responsive to my requests for support or change or adjustment? Or will they be challenged, minimized, disregarded, or ignored altogether? When a partner attempts to tell the other person what they think their problem is, or projects onto them their own ideas without invitation, or interrupts the partner who is sharing, this translates as, I have the truth and you don't. I know more than you. I'm wiser than you. Or it's more important for me to make clear and make good my intention than it is to hear you. Defensiveness doesn't create safety. It doesn't create intimacy. It doesn't create connection. It erodes them. To be safe means you are inspired to express yourself. Feeling safe can help you to feel inspired to express yourself openly, honestly, and authentically. We all have our own personal styles, our desires, our traumas, our fantasies related to sex. And if we are afraid that our partner is going to judge, reject, or override these aspects of ourselves, we are more likely to hide and suppress these. We'd rather not risk the conflict or chance at abandonment, so we suppress it. But the energy it takes to suppress, as well as the clenching that occurs to hold something back, will drain us, inhibiting our expression. Vulnerability is the key factor to sexual satisfaction. And sometimes we're afraid that our desires are going to be incompatible with the other person, or we will risk the end of the relationship or abandonment. Most of the time, that's not the actual case. We just may need to work with a professional to learn about how we can weave these needs together, or learn about our personal limits or perhaps steps that one partner can take to feel embodied, empowered, and resourced enough to be more open and receptive to the styles of the other person. We call this stacking in sex therapy, where the person who has more of a sensitivity to contexts that act as brakes, we might need to meet their styles or sex or needs first. And when they become higher aroused, then we can introduce some of the needs of the other person. That's just one example. I oftentimes get clients in which one is kinky and the other one is more sensual and soft. And I teach them how to incorporate the kinky play with the sensual perspective. Now, integrating elements of power play, tease and denial, toys, restraint, all while with sensual, loving, and even energetic tones that help both people to feel met. Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex Love Psychedelics.